I've been working on cleaning out the interior of this thing. Now that I got it all mechanically running and have had it in the water a couple times, decided to start with the carpet here. So I've actually got this whole little storage cubby here is all unscrewed. There's a little wood piece that goes across there that I took out, and I just went along and I pulled all the old carpet out. There's some spots where it's like underneath and you can't get it out. So I'm just gonna cut that and glue the new carpet in as best I can. I'm not really interested in taking apart the whole boat just to put carpet in. I think I should be able to do a pretty good job of getting it stuck down there. But of course, when I got to the front seats, on each side there's always got to be one screw that just doesn't want to go. Never fails. So these are actually 1/4-20 machine screws. I was thinking maybe they were just, regular like lag screws going into the floor, into the wood, but they're actual machine screws. And then on the underside, they've got those T-nuts. They're like flat sheet metal things with prongs that pull up into the wood, so it basically creates a captured nut in there. But of course, they're old, and the T-nuts were not stainless like the rest of the hardware, so they rusted. And on each side, it's just digging up into the wood underneath there, and it's locked onto the screw. So I'm gonna have to get the grinder out and cut the bolts off. And I think what I'm gonna do for the final install, I'm gonna just take these pedestals, and when I put it back down, I'm gonna rotate it a little bit. I'm gonna drill all new holes, and I ordered new stainless T-nuts to put in there. So yeah, I'm gonna go find the grinder and cut the bolts off on both of these. Same thing over here. It's almost out, not quite. So we'll get that out and then start working on gluing some new carpet in here. Just a few seconds work with a death wheel and a grinder. We got our bolts cut out. I found this is one of the T-nuts that was in there. You can see how it's got the teeth that pull up into the bottom of the wood and dig in. And you can see on these ones, when I went to loosen them, it just flattened out all the teeth, and they just sat there spinning in the wood, chewing it up, and didn't want to come out. And see how rusty they are. They're pretty stuck on there. So we're gonna replace it all, and for right now I'm gonna clean up the floor and vacuum this out and test fit our new piece of carpet.
2 minutes, Dad.
Just 2 minutes? That's all I have?
Yep, 2 minutes. Remember you said that?
Alright, 2 minutes, I promise. Alright, so I cut out the new piece of carpeting, and Charlie's back there. She's helping me today. Still got a couple of wrinkles to take out, but I just kind of set it in here just to check fit. Back here I've got some excess. I'm gonna be lifting up. I already unscrewed that back base panel for the seat. It's sitting about 1.5 inches off the floor, so I'm gonna stuff the excess carpet underneath there, and it'll just kind of hang out in that storage compartment there where nobody will notice it. But yeah, I think it fits pretty well. Just got to be careful when you walk, because there are a few holes in this floor for things like that storage cubby right there, and the fuel shut-off valve and the vent, and also where the seats go. But I'm pretty happy with how the carpet fits, so now I just got to figure out how to get it all glued down and smoothed out. So I've never put boat carpeting in. I really am not exactly sure what I should be doing, but I got some of this outdoor carpet adhesive, and apparently you put it down with this notched trowel, and I've got the carpet all folded up. In that doorway there's a little wooden trim piece across the bottom But I cut a little tab in the carpet so it sneaks under there, and then the wood screws down on top of it. So I figured that would be the best way to kind of pinch the carpet in place right there. I also brought the staple gun. I've got my little CO2 tank over there. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some glue down up just along the front there, and then bring the carpet down. There's going to be a seam, you know, right there. But if you keep it up tight, it looked like it should look pretty good when it's done, as long as I can keep it up tight there and not have a gap. So I'm going to try pushing it up there and then use the staple gun and just try and sneak a few staples right there on the edge, just to kind of hold it in place. You know, maybe just 2 or 3 of them, at least to kind of keep it there while I work out the rest of the floor. And I've got a aluminum bar there. That's actually a Jeep suspension link. I think I'm gonna try and use that as like a rolling pin to get the carpet all smoothed out as I move towards the back. And then again, I've got that rear panel with the speakers in it. It's the base for the seat. It's actually unscrewed and it's lifted up about 1 inch, so I'm going to try sneaking the carpet underneath there for a nice finished edge. So I'm gonna pop this thing open and see how it goes real quick. Got the front section down there. Just put a couple of little staples right in that corner there. Pretty happy with it there. In the sides, it's going to tuck underneath the old carpet in the side, so I'm not too worried about that right now. But then I'm just kind of throwing out some globs of glue and taking the spreader and moving it around, and I guess crossing my fingers that everything's going to go down smooth. I guess when I get to the back, it's going to be a little tricky getting under there, but we'll get it figured out. Well, that project wasn't nearly as difficult or nasty as I thought it was going to be, and I think it came out pretty nice. Definitely a lot nicer than the way it was when I got the boat, that's for sure. So you can see up along the front edge there, you know, I just stapled that edge as I was rolling it down. It seems to have really worked well. And the corners there, I just tucked the carpet up underneath the sidewall carpet that kind of dangles there. I did that on both sides, and yeah, it seems to have worked really well. And the back, just tucked it in underneath the seat box there. So there's a little flap hanging out in there, but you know, who cares? Nobody ever sees that. That's storage. So I picked up this carpet at Keystone Brothers. I think it was like $17 a yard or something. I only needed 3 yards of it, so pretty cheap. That was another, I don't know, $25 or so for the glue. So, you know, not a whole lot of money. Now I'm gonna wait for it all to dry, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna cut you can kind of see the depression there. There's a square hole for a cubby that goes there. I'm hoping that I can reuse the piece of carpet there to recover the little hatch that goes on top of there. Then there's a couple of round holes. There's one in the middle that goes to the fuel shutoff, and then there's one underneath the pedestals for each of the front seats. So I'll cut those out later after all the glue dries. But I'm really happy with how that came out. On to the next task.